Hello, this is Bill Steffen. Thanks so much for joining me on this Palm Sunday. As we look ahead, we got some clouds rolling in and the possibility of a shower, even an isolated thunder shower here during the day today. Severe weather, of course, is not anticipated. Hey, if you were out last night, you got a chance to see the full moon out there looking pretty. We've had such a cloudy winter around here. We haven't seen much of the moon or the stars. April 12th, we had the full pink moon, and we're still about 99% full here Saturday night, early Sunday morning. This was a micro moon, which means it's slightly smaller than an average full moon, which it kind of varies as the moon's distance to the Earth increases and decreases a little bit. The average distance of the moon and the Earth is about 239,000 miles, and that can range anywhere from about 225 to about 252,000, something like that. That can make the moon look a little bigger or smaller. Well, let's take a look at how much precipitation we're going to see. This is rain and melted snow. Not much. I expect most areas here around Grand Rapids will be seeing a quarter of an inch or less. There may be a few spots a little bit more than that, but shouldn't be too bad. The heaviest precipitation over the next 3-day period is going to be in upper Michigan, and that is from about Ironwood up toward Houghton or so. And look at this. This is the snowfall forecast. I've said for months now that there's some kind of a snow magnet this winter up in the UP, because every snowstorm seems to wind up there. This one's going to go across northern Minnesota and then slide down into upper Michigan. That yellow area there indicates the possibility of 6 inches of snow in the middle of April. It still keeps coming. Now that there may be an inch or so from Cadillac, as you can see, up toward the Gaylord area. That would be mainly Monday night into Tuesday morning. But most of the snow will be up across the UP. This is not a huge storm by upper Michigan standards, but there's a lot of places up there that have had snow on the ground continuously since November, and that will continue to be the case here through mid-April. So let's take a minute here and thank our sponsors. I want to thank Complete Care Concierge, our first sponsor. Here's a message from them.
Need a fast, efficient, and affordable cleaning service? Complete Care Concierge has you covered. Serving all of West Michigan, we offer one-time, daily, weekly, and bi-weekly cleans, plus move in, move out. We also service apartment hallways and laundry rooms. Our work is guaranteed, gift cards are available, and we even clean on weekends. There's no better way to say I love you than giving a tired mom a break from dishes and laundry. Are you a busy professional? Pamper yourself by taking vacuuming and dusting off your plate. Office manager? Keep your business looking and feeling its very best. Call 616-264-1397 today for a spotless space and total peace of mind.
When your home needs help, you might not know where to start. Why not ask Ace? We're always here to help with Ace Handyman Services. Our talented craftsmen handle everything from drywall and carpentry to doors and kitchens. We're the neighbors you trust to get the job done right. Let's get started. Book your handyman appointment today. Ace Handyman Services, bringing helpful to your home.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Well, here's a look at a chance of a thunderstorm today, and that does include all of the states of Michigan and Wisconsin. Any thunderstorm activity would be quite widely scattered, and not everybody will see lightning and thunder, but it's a possibility around here. Again, much of the day it will not be raining, especially in areas that are south of I-94, where there's less chance of rain here during the day today. Move ahead to Monday, and you can see the risk of severe thunderstorms slides down toward the Ohio River Valley. We have a slight risk, that's level 2 from northeastern Kentucky up through southern Ohio to around Pittsburgh or thereabouts. No thunderstorms for the state of Michigan. Everything stays south of us. But it will get windy and kind of chilly here again as cold air moves back in. I could see some wind gusts around 30 to 40 miles an hour here for both Monday and on Tuesday. So let's take a look at our headlines. Mostly cloudy skies for today and Monday. There'll be a chance of a shower, even an isolated thunder shower today and Monday. Mild weather today and Monday with temperatures up around 55 to 60 during the afternoon. But then the cooler air comes right on back on Tuesday, and I would suspect the Tuesday afternoon we'll be back in the mid to upper 40s with a pretty stiff and chilly northerly wind. Here's a look at today's weather. I think we can reach upper 50s today. We got the shower symbol out there because there will be scattered showers. But again, much of the time it will not be raining. It'll be a little bit on the breezy side. If you look at the wind over there in the lower right, south to southeast, 15 to 20 miles an hour this afternoon. And the air is not terribly moist at ground level. Our humidity falls to around 50% here. So that's another reason that we're not expecting any super heavy amounts of rain here. A look at the next 3 days. Temperatures here up into the mid to upper 50s during the afternoon, mid 50s to low 60s on Monday. And then there's quite a drop here by about 15 degrees or so during the day on Tuesday. Both Monday and Tuesday will have a chance for a scattered shower. Tuesdays, if we get rain, that would be during the morning. I think Tuesday afternoon will turn out to be dry. Here's a look at high temperatures over the next 3 days. We'll see readings here into the mid to upper 50s here today, 60 down toward the Indiana border. And warmer up in the UP where temperatures will be close to 50. Some of the snow melting up there today and tomorrow in the mild air. For Monday, here's our temperatures. We're seeing readings in the low 60s from Grand Rapids south and east, mid 60s at the Indiana border. And starts to turn a little cooler in the western UP, but still up into the low 50s up towards Sault Ste. Marie. For Tuesday, then the cold air comes in. You can see all that blue color there with readings in the mid 40s here during the afternoon hours and only in the 30s with some snow during the morning up there across upper Michigan. So the cold air not done with them. 5-day forecast looks like this. Chance of showers Sunday, Monday, and very early on Tuesday. I think Tuesday late afternoon we'll see some sunshine again. Nice sunny day on Wednesday. If you're looking for a day to be outside, that's the day, and it will be a little bit on the cool side. As you can see, we dropped from around 60 to around 50 here Tuesday and Wednesday, and then back to the upper 50s during the day on Thursday. Some showers possible Thursday and Friday. Next front will come through, and we'll be on the cool side here for Easter Sunday weekend. Well, a long-range outlook looks like this. The heat bubble that's been out in the midsection of the country here for mid-April is going to shift to the southeast. We're in the warm air here. I'm sure we'll get some days with temperatures at least into the 60s, if not 70s here, at least a couple of days. And then the cooler air starts to work its way back in across the Rockies into the Plain States here as we approach the latter week of April. Well, here's a look at the precipitation outlook, and you can see we're above average here. I would suspect as that cooler air starts to impede on the Plain States and comes toward the Great Lakes, we'll see several rounds of showers and thunderstorms. Probably a good likelihood that we'll see a couple of days here with strong thunderstorms. Again, that's the period of April 20 through the 26th. All right, we want to congratulate Western Michigan University. Did you see the hockey game? It was on ESPN2. I hope it had a good audience. What a fantastic game. It was pretty even until the third period. In the third period, WMU really took over. Got 3 goals and wound up winning the game 6-2. So the title, NCAA Best Hockey Team in the entire universe, NCAA, will hang in Kalamazoo, Michigan here over the next year. And we salute them. I think that's great. I was walking around Meyer Gardens today. I'll talk about that in a second. But I saw a number of people that were wearing Western gear, had on sweatshirts and whatnot, cheering the team on today. But big 6-2 win over Boston in the finals. Well, I mentioned I was out at Meyer Gardens today. If you look at the caption there down at the bottom, it's kind of interesting. As of 1:15 in the afternoon, I asked, and they had already had 6,000 admissions on the day. So it was pretty well crowded. There was a long line for butterflies. The line, by the way, peaked at, it must have been around 11:30 in the morning or thereabouts, maybe noon. The line for the butterflies went down during the mid to late afternoon. So maybe that's a clue of when to visit. But what a day. Blue sky, sunshine. We had 92% sunshine, according to Blake Harms on WID TV8. And here's a look at some of the butterflies that we got to see there today. That was a picture that I took. Butterflies are there until April 30th. 60 species. They come from Central America, South America, Asia, and Africa. It is the largest, I didn't know this, this is the largest temporary tropical butterfly exhibit in the entire United States. And there's an L missing in butterfly, and I didn't catch that, but it is butterfly, not butterfly. Okay. All right. Let's move on and talk about some other things. More pictures from the Meyer Gardens today. That little, I think that's a chickadee, if I'm not mistaken. And that chickadee let me and my daughter get real close right up in front. And I have a chickadee that hangs out at my bird feeder in the backyard. And it, again, allows me to get very, very close. But you can see what a nice day it was out there. There's the horse. Everybody's got to come and see Da Vinci's horse when they come to the Meyer Gardens. Lots of beautiful flowers up there to see. The daffodils, of course, are out now. Some of the tulips were planted so that they are blooming now. And it's just a great time of year to spend an afternoon there at the Meyer Gardens. And it was interesting looking at the license plates in the parking lot. We saw license plates from Ohio and Illinois and Indiana. One from Colorado, somebody visiting from there. If you remember, you can get that reciprocal agreement that you can get in other botanic gardens, and that is a good thing to have here too. Okay, let's see what else we got here for today. We're talking about a meteotsunami. What is that? You know, a tsunami is normally related with earthquakes. When an earthquake occurs and it causes the water to move away from shore and then to come roaring back in.
We're looking for temperatures.
Swamps things. And it's caused by a sudden atmospheric pressure change, which is very often the result of a thunderstorm with strong winds that pushes the water along like that. This one occurred up in the Ludington area, damaged docks and homes. Was unexpected. Waves shouldn't have been that strong, but fortunately people are getting smarter now, and they realize that when the water recedes like that, that would be after an earthquake or after a severe thunderstorm or a thunderstorm that pushes a lot of wind, pushes the water around, that you want to stay away from the shore and not be by the beach, because those large waves could start to come in at you there. Okay, more on meteotsunamis here. They are not like the tsunamis that are caused by earthquakes. Meteotsunamis are caused by abrupt changes in air pressure. In Michigan, it's usually a thunderstorm moving across the lake. We had a big one in the storm that occurred May 31, 1998. And I believe that one was as high as 46 inches, with the water being pushed with the west wind toward the shoreline. And then as the thunderstorm exited, the winds turned to the east and it pushed the water back out. And of course, if you were in the water, which people weren't at the time, it was early morning, that you could be swept away from shore back out toward the open waters of the lake. Some interesting information here on meteotsunamis, a color simulation of wave crests here. You can see these are images from NOAA, and you can see there what happens when the strong winds come in. First of all, on the left side there, you can see that wind generated over toward the Wisconsin side and then coming on shore. And finally, on the map on the right side, you can see in that red color there where the tsunami occurred. And it can be a fairly abrupt change, where you can have a meteotsunami in Ludington and maybe not so much once you get south of Little Sable Point there. Okay, meteotsunamis may have to blame for a couple of freak wave weather events on Lake Michigan that caused the loss of life. We certainly know that was the case in the June 1954 case. There were 8 fatalities. A number of them were people that were fishing off of the pier at Belmont Harbor. Big thunderstorm comes through, strong amount of wind, pushed the water toward the Michigan and Indiana shoreline. And then as the thunderstorm exited, that water sloshed back, kind of like the water in a bathtub would. And it swept people off the piers there. There was another one in Grand Haven in 1929 when there were 8 fatalities. July 4, 2003, I remember that day well. There were 7 fatalities at Warren Dunes State Park. These are people that got back in Lake Michigan right away after a severe thunderstorm passed through. So if you get a thunderstorm with a lot of wind, don't be swimming in the water. Stay off the beach then. And of course, the one there up in Ludington. On this date in 1992, an arsonist set fire to the Monroe County Courthouse. Monroe County is in the southeastern corner of Lower Michigan. And it was interesting, they were never caught. The damage was extensive, $930,000. Who would do that? Isn't that incredible? But, hopefully we don't see anything like that again. And let's see, what else do we have? We are saying happy birthday to East Grand Rapids. Reed's Lake, of course, in East Grand Rapids. You're familiar with that. Incorporated as a village April 13th, 1981. So that was 25 plus 9 plus 100. So add them up and you can see how old East Grand Rapids is. Really a nice town. And we salute them on their birthday on this date. It says, by comparison, Grand Rapids incorporated April 2, 1850. And a lot of people from Grand Rapids used to go out to the amusement park, which is on the west side of Reed's Lake back in the old days. All right, I think we have one more here for you. On this date in 1992, Pepsi began test marketing this product in 5 cities: Sacramento, Providence, Denver, Dallas, and Grand Rapids. Its first launch sold from 92 to 94. You know, they have these wonderful products that come along, you know, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, whatever. And, you know, you're always trying to reinvent the product and come up with something that's a little bit better that people will go for. But sometimes you come up with something that just doesn't quite work, and you've got to kind of stop in midstream and go back again. Let's go and see the answer here. I think I know what it is. Crystal Pepsi, that's right. Crystal Pepsi, clear. And it was still fizzy and carbonated like that. I don't see a lot of that advertised around anymore, that's for sure. But a lot of good things, soft drinks, one of them that we enjoy here during the summer season especially. All right, on this, it's in its launch year, it was 1% of soft drink sales in the U.S. Well, sometimes 1% is a good percentage. It really is. If I sold, you know, the 1% of the candy in the United States, I'd be making a pretty good buck. But other companies, soda and otherwise, launch colorless versions of their products in the same time frame. So it's a lot of times grocery items, especially, are pretty competitive. If you take a look at groceries between, you know, Myers and Aldi's and Sam's Club and Target and whatnot, all the grocery items that you see, it's pretty competitive. It's you know, you work hard to try and you know, keep that profit margin going there. But that's a little bit about Crystal Pepsi. And on this date in 1997, this golfer became the youngest ever to win the Masters tournament. The record still stands today. He has won the Masters 5 times. Well, that could be one of 2 people. That could be Jack Nicklaus or that could be Tiger Woods. And I will bet, since it's 1997, that it would be Tiger Woods. That's a pretty obvious answer, I would think. And the answer is Tiger Woods. Really an amazing golfing career. And part of that started here in the state of Michigan, as I think he played in the junior amateur, which is down toward, what is it, Point of Woods down there in Berrien County, for instance. So he's quite familiar with this. Supposedly, you know, still has some health issues, but has had quite a run. Really some amazing golf shots. If you ever want to see something absolutely spectacular, there's a chip shot that Tiger made in the Masters golf tournament where he has to hit it at almost a 90-degree angle and then let the ball trickle on down. And it pauses for just a second or so before it falls in the cup. And it's just amazing. If you haven't looked at that video, just Tiger Woods chip Masters, and you want to take a look at that because it's pretty incredible. Okay, now I think we have one more thing here for you. Thomas Jefferson's birthday, born April 13th, 1743. So that goes back quite a ways, Thomas Jefferson's birthday. Founding fathers were actually pretty amazing men, what they came up with, and to formulate what this country would be without a king, with the president, with the power split between 3 branches, the legislative and judicial. Pretty amazing. So we'll remember Thomas Jefferson's birthday today, back in 1743. And we have one photo here from John Scully, who sends a lot of photos our way. Moon and the sun during the early morning here at the shoreline, and we certainly thank John for the pictures that he sends along to us here. If you'd like to send us some pictures, we'd certainly like to see them, and if you'd allow us to put them here, those are great. Send your photos to us at bill@billsteffen.com. Once again, that's bill@billsteffen.com. Well, I hope you have yourself a fantastic Palm Sunday today, and hopefully you'll spend some time with family or friends, or enjoy maybe watching the Masters on TV. Thanks so much for coming here to get a dose of weather at BillSteffen.com. Remember, our YouTube channel is BillSteffen616. Have a great day.